I mean, that's literally what the R in Nikon ZR means. That's what they call the camera. But before I start talking about this camera, I have to share the usual disclaimer. Nikon didn't send this camera to me, I didn't get to test it out. All the opinions are my own, and I have linked the sources down below in the video description, so you can check them out if you want to. First, some general information on the camera. Nikon ZR has the Nikon Z mount, or Z mount, or whatever you want to call it, which is the lens mount for all Nikon mirrorless cameras. Hello there. A few months ago, Nikon released their first cinema camera after acquiring Red. It has a 24.5 megapixel partially stacked full-frame CMOS sensor, has the X-Speed 7 processor, has 5-axis in-body image stabilization. The body is made out of a magnesium alloy, which is dust and splash resistant. The camera weighs in at about, body only, 540 grams, and with battery and memory card around 630 grams, and is priced at 2,349 euros, or about $2,100. Next to the video capabilities, it can record internal RAW at 6K up to 60 frames per second at 12-bit, 4K at up to 120 frames per second, 1080p at up to 240 frames per second, has over 15 stops of dynamic range, a dual base ISO of 800 and 6400, a native ISO range of 100 to 51,200, expandable up to 204,800. When it comes to the photo capabilities, I'm not going to tell you about the photo capabilities because, yes, it does have photo capabilities, but they're basically the same as in the Nikon Z6 III, apart from the Nikon ZR missing a mechanical shutter, and it doesn't have the EVF on top of the camera. The Nikon ZR has a 4-inch fully articulating LCD touchscreen, so the screen flips out and rotates. That's what it does. And it's 4 inches big, which, that's what she said. But it is actually bigger than other camera screens, which are about 3.2 inches. The display has about 3.07 million dots, and as I just mentioned, the camera doesn't have a built-in EVF. When it comes to the autofocus system, it has the classic Nikon hybrid autofocus system with face detection and contrast detection. It has about 273 autofocus points with subject detection for up to 9 subject types: people, animals, vehicles, etc, etc, etc. When it comes to the ports, it has USB-C, which is USB 3.2, micro HDMI, it has 3.5mm microphone and headphone jacks, and, which is a first for Nikon, a digital hot tube. When it comes to storage and power, the Nikon ZR takes CF Express Type A card for a high bitrate RAW recording. It supports USB power delivery and has an approximate recording time of 125 minutes at 6K 60 frames per second. Now, the specs on paper sound really, really great, but there are a few downsides to this camera which I would like to address, like the missing EVF, the memory card slot being basically next to the battery slot, and finally the micro HDMI. Also, according to the tests I've seen, the autofocus is lacking, as usual, in comparison to the likes of Canon and Sony. But all in all, I have no other complaints. I believe that this is a solid first run at a cinema camera, and I'm excited to see what they do next. But what are your thoughts on this camera? Feel free to share them down in the comments below. Now, if you liked this video, I would appreciate it if you left a like down below and subscribe to my channel. And as always, have a nice weekend. See ya.